I have been in such an insane reading slump, so I apologise for the insane lack of videos. I posted for like 6 months and then immediately stopped. But it's really just because I haven't read a lot. I've literally read 7 books this year, which isn't crazy insanely bad, but like 4 of those were in January. So I'm really not doing too great on the reading front. I've been really slumpy. I haven't even been like watching book YouTube. I've also just been, well, okay, I say that I haven't been reading. That's not entirely true. I have been reading a lot of comics recently. So I've got through half of the new Teen Titans from the 1980s run. So I have been reading, just not like novels. And like I had them included in my Goodreads whatever for a while, but I don't know, something about it just felt weird to me. Because I think in my head it's like my goal to read like novels. This is my current read and I'm really enjoying it, which is why I feel motivated to make a video. So the last time I did one of these, I didn't follow up on it because I didn't read like, I don't think I read a single book on the winter TBR. But this is a hopeful video because I did call the last one a slumpy winter TBR and I've like only just got out of the slump. So we're starting off with this one for the summer period. I'm hoping to maybe have this finished by the start of June. I have like, I'm like almost halfway, but I started it yesterday, so there's nothing like a Richard Osman to get me out of a reading slump because I absolutely love these books. I will devour them. But I've been waiting for the latest one to come out in paperback, so. I actually haven't read We Solve Murders. I could have, but I think I'm mostly just attached to the characters, so I don't know if We Solve Murders would do it for me. I just love old people. I think it's mostly that they remind me so much of my grandparents. Like Ron and Ibrahim remind me of my granddads, like literally 2 peas in a pod, literally 1 for 1. My nan is Elizabeth all over. She's literally called Elizabeth. So I'm enjoying it and it's making me hopeful for the summer months. I feel like I'm reeling off of the heat wave we've been having. I actually really hate the heat, but it also weirdly makes me feel kind of, I don't know. I haven't even grabbed the books. I just sort of was like, fuck it, I'm going to film, and then I grabbed the camera. So I'm going to get the books now. So I don't think I'm going too crazy. I have, including the Richard Osman, I have these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 that I think I'm really excited to read right now. So these are the ones I'm going to tell you. But who knows? Others might make it on, some of these might not. I'm really loosey-goosey with my TBRs. Well, first off, I'm going to talk about the one that I actually have to show you. So every year for Christmas, my mum buys me 12 books and then wraps them for each month. So on the first of, they're upside down. So on the first of every month, I open a new book. And the idea is that I'm meant to read that book in the month. But she's done it for 2 years now and I haven't done it either year. I usually end up reading them eventually. Weirdly, I've had really bad luck with them so far. I've actually ended up getting rid of most of them, or like just not really enjoying them very much, which is really unfortunate, but I think it's just bad luck. One of these is the only one that I got spoiled for before Christmas, and I'm already super excited to read it. I don't know which one it is. But I know that either June or July's book is Greenteeth. Oh god, I don't remember the author's name, hold on. I know that either June or July's book is Greenteeth by Molly O'Neill. It's about a lake monster who doesn't really interact with humans very much until a witch is thrown into her lake. Because of things that are going on in the town, and obviously, you know, witches are being accused, she and the monster team up, I guess, to get their revenge or to work out what is going on in the town nearby in order to save the lake. It feels very sort of sapphic-y vibes. I don't know if it is romantic, but I'm definitely getting that vibe. I'm not expecting it to have romance in it because it doesn't say so explicitly, but I don't really know very much about it. I feel like the blurb is very, very vague, but it has a gorgeous cover and I'm so excited to get to it. I definitely think it's like super summer vibes, so one of these, don't know which one. Ooh, which one should I talk about next? I feel like I'm most likely to get to The Hobbit. I read the Lord of the Rings trilogy last year and I absolutely loved it. I'm pretty sure I mention it in like every single video I filmed, and my dad bought me The Hobbit for my birthday this year, so I'm super excited to get to it. And I just feel like even if they're not necessarily set in like a super summery vibe, they just feel like summer to me. So this is probably the one I'm most likely to get to, especially because I loved Tolkien's writing so much. Like the rest of these are sort of hit and misses. Who knows if I'm gonna like them, but I adored Tolkien's writing, so I can't imagine a world where I'm not gonna love The Hobbit. I'm super excited to get to it. Hello, if I look familiar, it's because I'm literally editing this video immediately after filming it, so that I don't procrastinate doing that. And I realised that I never actually talked about what The Hobbit is or about. I just waxed poetic about J.R.R. Tolkien for a sec, which is valid, but you know. So basically The Hobbit is a prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it's the story of a creature called a Hobbit called Bilbo Baggins. He is enlisted by a wizard called Gandalf to assist 12, I think, dwarves in attempting to return to their original home, which has been taken over by a dragon. Is that the right home? Or was there a different home? I'm just trying to remember from the movie, basically. But I don't think Smaug is at their home, is he? He's assisting 12 hobbits in returning to their home. They end up getting chased by elves. The orcs are after them. I don't remember why the orcs are after them, though. I'll find out. To be fair, I'm going to be honest, it's probably the best situation to be in, because I do kind of sometimes struggle to read books that I know as movies. And like, I didn't read Hunger Games for years because I tried to read it and couldn't get into it because I knew what happened because of the movies. So maybe this is a good position to be in. I remember bits and bobs, but I don't really remember anything at all. So it means that I'll get to experience the story quite fresh, and I'm pretty happy about that. But it does mean that I can't really explain very much to you, so sorry. Next up is Daisy Jones and the Six. I've had this on my shelf for ages. I've wanted to read it for ages. I've been super excited for it for ages. I've just never got to it. I think it's mostly that I'm putting it off because I'm scared that I'm not going to like it. I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo. Loved it. Really enjoyed Taylor Jenkins Reid's... Taylor Jenkins Reid's... Yeah. I really enjoyed... Oh my goodness, her name's a tongue twister. I really enjoyed Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing style as well, so I'm really excited to get to this one, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just off put because I'm like scared I'm not gonna like it. I'm scared that maybe Seven Husbands was a one-off. I think it's mostly that like she's one of those authors that like everybody on fucking TikTok, like you either love her or hate her, and I feel like I'm scared that maybe I was having some sort of rose-tinted glasses moment with the Seven Husbands and that I actually don't like her. But I'm excited for it, and I'd really love to get to it, because if I do love it, like, then I have her entire backlog to get to. So I'm a bit of a bastard for this, aren't I? Let's go have a look at what Daisy Jones and the Six is about. So Taylor Jenkins Reid, from my experience of reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, she writes in a very sort of biographical way where she has this like whole fictional world, but the books themselves treat the characters as though they are real celebrities. So this one is about a band called Daisy Jones and the Six, incredibly famous band. In my head, I'm like thinking Fleetwood Mac kind of vibes. maybe even like the Beatles kind of vibes. They are a very, very famous band who split up, and nobody knows why in the end they ended up, you know, disbanding. There was like tons of drama, and I imagine it's very sort of star-studded in the same way that Seven Husbands is. I'm intrigued to see if, because in Seven Husbands, the whole sort of premise is that a writer is invited to talk to Evelyn and get her story in order to write her biography. You realise at the end of the book, it's not really a spoiler because it's not like to do with the plot, but you realise when you're getting to the end of the book that the book you are reading is supposed to be the fictional biography. So, like, what you're reading would be the biography in this fictional world. I'm intrigued to see how this one is done, because I'm pretty sure the biography element is mentioned in the blurb to Seven Husbands. I'm intrigued to see how she documents it in this way, because the characters in Seven Husbands feel so vivid. Like, by the end of it, I fully was committed to the fact that Evelyn Hugo was a real celebrity and that I was reading about her real, like, the real events of her life. And that's what I'm hoping for when I say that I really loved her writing style, is I'm hoping that by the end of this book, Daisy Jones and the Six will feel like a real band that existed in the world, because they are portrayed in such a vivid way, and also in like a realistic way. I'm super excited for it, and I can't believe that I keep just not talking about the books that I'm meant to be talking about. Next up is one of my books from last year's 12 months, The Whispering Muse by Laura Purcell. It's about a girl who she like joins the costume department of a theatre, and then essentially the theatre's haunted. That's pretty much the up and down of it from what I understand. It says, dressing volatile lead actress Lilith is more than she reckoned on. Scandalous and talented in equal measure, Lilith claims to have made a pact with a tragic muse to secure her success. Jenny is sceptical, but as Lilith's star rises, accidents begin to take place around the theatre. With her beliefs and loyalties torn, Jenny starts to fear that when the muse comes calling for payment, the cost will be too high. I absolutely love the theatre. I love backstage, in the crowd, everything. So I'm very, very excited to read about a haunted theatre, of course. Especially, like, kind of hope that they're doing Macbeth. I feel like Macbeth is always a good go-to when it comes to creepy theatre books. The final books that I'm going to talk about today is actually a series. It's 4 books, and it's Mortal Engines by Phillip Reeve. I've wanted to read this for a really long time. I actually almost started Mortal Engines like 3-4 years ago before I realised it was a series, and then for absolutely ages I have been looking for the third one. I found the other 2 in a charity shop, and then was like desperately hunting for the third one, and then I finally found it. So, in fact, did I end up buying it new? I think I ended up buying it new because I just really wanted to get to it this year. So, I never know what my books are about. I just go purely off vibes, and like, look at the front cover. How could anybody say no to that? It looks so cool. Yeah, so, okay, immediately, huge motorized cities hunt, attack, and fight each other for survival. So they're basically giant house-moving castles. Immediately cool. We follow a boy called Tom. I don't know how old Tom is. I actually have no idea what age range these are supposed to be aimed at, but I don't really care. I'll happily read anything. I have been burnt by a couple of middle grades, especially recently, so I'm a little scared that they'll read a little too young. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So we follow a boy called Tom, who ends up flung into the wastelands. So assumably he falls off one of these cities, which is kind of mental. Like, they look big. How does he not splat? Anyway, and he gets hunted down by a cyborg. And this, I'm gonna be honest. I judge books by their covers, and this cover looks so cool. I bought it purely on the vibes of the cover. I don't even think I read the blurb. I mean, I've owned it for a long time. I don't even think I read the blurb. I think I just saw that and was like, count me in. So, I know this is a really short and sweet one, but these Oh. These and Greenteeth are going to be my TBR for the summer, and hopefully I will have finished this before we hit the summer. I'm really excited for them. I really just want to have a good time reading again. I feel like I part of my slump is that I just haven't really hit any great books in a while. I got a 5-star read. I don't remember if it was late January or early February. 5-star read, absolutely loved it. Fantastic. I'm currently looking for it because it was an ARC. And every single one since then has just been slightly disappointing. Even the ones that have been sort of like 4-ish stars, I just wanted more. And I think that's really not helped the slump, because every single time I'm reading a book, I'm just like, it's just not scratching the itch, you know? So I feel like I'm going in for some potential itch scratchers. You know, I've got Tolkien, I've got Taylor Jenkins Reid, I've got something that's set in a theatre, and then I've got a lovely series that hopefully I'm going to really be able to sink my teeth into. It's also one of my goals for this year to read a series. I have quite a few that are potential contenders for that. I also was thinking about reading the Shadowhunters. Which one is it? The Mortal Instruments. I always get mixed up which one's first, whether it's Mortal Instruments or Infernal Devices or whatever it's called. I also have the Mortal Instruments, which could switch out potentially. I think for now I'm confident with this set and Greenteeth. So we shall see. This is the one that I'm really holding out hope for. I'm convinced that this book is going to save my reading year. I want this to be the book where I read this and then suddenly I've read like 10. But yeah, we will see. I'm going to be having hopefully another video out very shortly because we're hitting June, which is the 6th month of the year, so I'll be doing my mid-year reading wrap-up. I always forget the name of these things. My mid-year reading wrap-up will hopefully be hitting the page sometime this month, probably towards the end of the month, if I'm honest. Mostly because I haven't read much, so I'd quite like to get a few more in before I commit to posting the mid-year wrap-up, particularly because I don't have a lot of great things to say. But yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Enjoy the sun!